Hey y'all, so this week I would like to talk about something that has been something that I've had to research a lot lately because of the fact that my oldest has ADHD and ODD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and obstinate defiance disorder. And this last little while, since we started back at school, really has been pretty hard for him. I don't know why exactly. It's almost like he's just really overwhelmed by everything in life in general right now. And so I've been looking into and researching natural ways to help him because, another backstory, we tried medication for him, and with the medication, it made him super emotional, it made him unable to sleep and super depressed. It made it so that he was just not my kid. Like that, it was completely off and wrong, and my husband didn't feel comfortable with it. My child didn't feel comfortable with it, and so we stopped. And we took him off before we even went in to see the doctor. And the way my insurance works, or that my doctor, whatever you want to call it, works, we have to go see our doctor, and then the doctor gives us a referral, and we have to go see that person that we're referred to. And when that happened, I called to make an appointment, and we've never been able to receive an appointment with that person. So I had to find ways to kind of help him in the meantime, and we still haven't heard back, and so we're just going to keep going with the natural way until we can hear from somebody that can actually maybe possibly give us medication. We're not against medication, it's just we haven't found one that works for us yet. So this is what we're doing. And if you know or have anything that you've tried that you know works, please let us know, because this is something that I need genuine help with on this. And this is the only stuff that I've found so far. So we have tried, or so far we have started by changing our diet. So he doesn't get anything with preservatives. I make everything he eats. And I don't make everything he eats. Like he gets like pretzels and like veggie straws and that kind of stuff for snacks, which he probably shouldn't because of all the sodium in it. But he can still have it. It's not bad for him. It's just not the best for him either. So I make the majority of everything he eats. He makes sandwiches for lunch. He's old enough. He can do a lot of stuff on his own. And so no preservatives and no sugars. We have switched over to honey and stevia for a lot of our sugar because of the fact that they are better for him. He can have that sugar, but nothing else. It has to be a natural sugar, like strawberries and blueberries, any fruit, the sugar from fruit, he can have those. He can have all that. It's just we have to be more careful about the processed sugar that he has. So we have stevia and honey for our natural sugars outside of the fruit, and we really try to limit how much he gets with that even, because I don't like when he has too much sugar, let's be honest. He gets really mean, that's what I'll say. And so we have changed our diet. I bought this swing, super cool. So you hang it from the ceiling by this hook, and goes in the ceiling, right? And then he just sits in it, or he lays down, or he can just get in the swing however he wants. And they also make this in 550 cord looking stuff. I don't know if it is actually 550 cord, but that's what it looks like to me. And my husband was in the military, so that's what I go with. This, I'm excited for him because I'm thinking about putting it either in my living room or in my dining room where I do school. And he can just swing in that while I'm working on schoolwork with the other kids. He can read and swing at the same time. Supposedly, this swing is supposed to help lower their anxieties and also help them to calm down. So it'll help him to be able to focus better whenever it's actually time for him to do his schoolwork, which I'm super excited about because that is something that we struggle with intensely. And so that is something that I wanted to make sure I had for him, to help him to be able to calm down naturally, to make him feel comforted and make him feel like he's, you know what I'm saying? He's able to not have to worry about being so overwhelmed by so much. The other thing I found is that there are certain vitamins that help with lowering their episodes. And just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, when they have episodes, it's when they're very defiant or when they're super crazy and out of control, when they can't focus, when they're like, wow, you know? And this is what I have found just because of the fact that I had to do a lot of research for this. So these are the particular vitamins that I found help. This is what Healthline says. They say that I'm going to butcher this, I'm sorry. I think it's carnitine, magnesium, which we find, or we use it from our X Factor and BioCleanse, both of which have magnesium in it. And then we have B6, which is also found in our X Factor, and zinc supposedly is also found in our X Factor. I think it's in one of the plants that they use for the ingredients. And then other herbs such as ginkgo, which I haven't been able to find in a very it's something that he can have without having an odd flavor. But he also takes this thing called Active, and it's supposed to be really good for like post-workouts and like muscle recovery and brain development and stuff like that, or like memories and all that jazz. But this actually has ginseng in it, and ginseng helps to lower those or improve ADHD symptoms. And passion flower is the other thing, and I haven't been able to find anything with passion flower in it. So far, I've been able to find him with quite a bit of not muscles. What is this thing called? Supplements that help him to be able to manage his ADHD better. Because of the ADHD, it's made it so that he's like completely overwhelmed by a lot of stuff. Like he ends up very socially awkward. He ends up making it so that he doesn't always do what's right. He chooses to just go with what he wants instead of what he needs to do. And so because of that, I wanted to set him up for success. I also try to make sure he doesn't have any juices. He usually drinks water or milk. And even the milk sometimes I'm a little iffy on just because of the sugars that they put in the milk. But he drinks both of those. I have changed the flour that we use. I try to use almond flour instead of regular all-purpose flour just because I don't want the processed part of the all-purpose flour. I want more of like the natural part of the almond flour, because I've noticed that the almond or the natural all-purpose flour tends to be a lot more processed, especially the bleached kind. And so it's a lot of changes, but honestly, it's so nice. I've noticed so far, because we have, like I said, we started with the diet already, and if he doesn't steal sugar, he is 1,000 times better. He does his chores without whining or crying. He does his chores without being asked. He'll do his homework, or his schoolwork rather, without any complaint. He'll just sit down and he'll do it on his own. I won't have to tell him. He just does it. But when he has sugar in his system, or when he has processed foods or anything, or juice, if he's had juice or anything like that, he is out of control. It doesn't make sense to me. It's just so crazy how such little things can make it go from one extreme to the other. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, I just want to say that I am very grateful for any and all help y'all can give on this matter. And I hope that this has been able to help you guys somehow, because this is something that's been very hard for my family. And I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it is, because we don't want to deter him from being the person that he is, but he's not always making the right choices to help to be the best person that he can be. And so if you have any advice or any suggestions, or if you've noticed anything that helps, please drop a comment below, like, subscribe, share, and I hope you guys have a good week.